folks. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm Chad with CD Shaving. Today we're doing a review, not on a soap. We're doing a review on a razor. We're going to get to that in a second. So I just want to talk about the holiday of the day today. Holiday of the day is Amelia Earhart today, or Amelia Earhart Day, I should say. Amelia Earhart Day. She is the first female aviator to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean. So today, in honor of that, we are shaving with Aviator. Reef Point Soaps Aviator. This is an awesome soap. I really like this. For more on this, check out my review on that particular soap. But today is not about that. Nope. Today, we're doing a review on this little baby right here. Check that out. Right? There's hardly anything to this. This is a new razor. So new to me. It's actually not a new razor by any means. This is the Cooper razor. It is an, I'm going to say it's an open comb. You know, it is an open comb. It's made in the 1930s, this particular razor. And, yeah, it's about $30 if you buy one of these. I've seen it around. This was piffed to me by Louis Leonici. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. This is actually a very aggressive little bugger. There's 4 different models. It is 1.7 ounces with the blade. And I was told that sometimes razors can be made to push another product, or back in the day they were made to push another product. Say you might see something like this and another, you know, this maybe paired with a soap to help promote the soaps, you know, or maybe a specific aftershave. That's why you don't really see these specifically, but this one, as you can see, has the word club on it, if you can see that on the top. And so sometimes you'd see one of these type of razors paired with the soap to maybe add value. I spoke with a couple of different people that are in the know, as it were, to kind of ask and pick their brains about this particular razor, and that's what I was told. Makes sense to me. So having said that, I wanted to thank you, both two people that I got a lot of my information from, Douglas Smythe and Gary Hartzell. Thank you very much for the information. So we're going to, I've shaved with this once before, but not on camera. And so today we're going to go give it a go. As you can see, this, there we go. You can see that this thing is actually pretty aggressive. There's, just by looking at it. And I can tell you from one of the shaves I did before that it is. So I call this my little wasp, because there's nothing to this. There's nothing to that whatsoever. And I got about 2 days worth of growth, so I'm really looking forward to taking it off. As far as the blade is concerned, actually, you know, I'm going to show you. There's nothing. It's really a 3-piece, and we got ourselves a feather blade in there. This will be on our second use, but you get 1, 2, and then really this, you just kind of push it on there and give it a couple of twists, and you're locked in. I mean, there's nothing. There's barely any room for any adjustment on a blade for this, but yeah, Cooper is the name of the company that made this. So we're going to go ahead and give this a shot here on camera and show you guys just exactly what this little thing is capable of. You can see I get quite a bit of growth on here. And we're going to go ahead, and I've been dry blooming the soap. I call it dry blooming, but basically I've been just letting it sit and floating in the water, and that blooms the soap, heats up the tub, gets it ready to go. We're going to wipe this down. Get our Allen block ready to go. The brush we're going to be using is Aftershave handle, maggot razors, tuxedo knot brush. And we're going to shave with the Aviator Reef Point soap. We're going to finish it off with just a balm today. We're going to be going with the Nivea Men Sensitive. So, brush is wet. Let's load it up. I have been wanting to do a shave, face shave, for a couple of days now, and it's driving me nuts. So I am looking forward to this. And I know that this razor is capable of taking this stuff off. So I recommend, if you guys have a chance to land yourselves one of these things. It's nice razor to just add to the collection. It's good to have on hand. It's not, I wouldn't say it's as aggressive as my Mule, but it's pretty close. Yeah, that's pretty well loaded there. Oh, I love the smell of this stuff. I really do. So we're just going to go ahead and wet the face here. This is just what I pulled off the tub. All right. So it's a different type of razor than what I'm used to. It is what I would consider a vintage, or what most people would consider a vintage. Anybody would consider a vintage. Let's go ahead and throw this right on, shall we? Yeah. So reef point. You guys don't have a reef point in your collection or in your shaved end? Get one. Their scents are not overly strong, but they perform really, really well. Just going to add a little bit of water to that. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, perfect. All right. Here we go. Cooper open comb. What I affectionately call the little wasp. Here we go. The thing I like about this razor is you notice that it's so small that it can get in like right by your ears. See that? For those of us that lack sideburns. Now, not a lot of audio feedback with this, but I've noticed the vintage razors don't. I actually had a hard time finding information about this. And that sometimes can be the case with the older razors, but still, there's something about having something in your hand that's, you know, the better part of 100 years old. See that? I already took a good chunk of that hair right off. 1.7 ounces, man. This thing is not that heavy. So I wouldn't recommend it for somebody that is new to wet shaving, just because there's not really any weight behind it. And I found when you're new to wet shaving that having something with a little bit of weight behind it just kind of helps you get your bearings, you know? Helps you figure out how to get the angle, and once you know what you're doing, I actually prefer the lighter razors now. Or at least I can shave with them. I don't have any problem because getting a good shave with them, because I don't. I have my technique down. Goatee. Yeah, tearing right through it. Now, is it as good as my Mule? No, but that's my go-to. I love that razor. But if I were to give this a 1 through 10 scale on aggressiveness, definitely a 9 or a 10. As much as I don't mind the lightness to it, that probably would be my drawback, because it's so thin. There's not a lot of metal to this, and I'm being told that the reason for that was due to metal shortages to war efforts and things like that. But that would be my drawback to this, because I feel like if I drop it, or I just feel like it can't take much abuse. So. Yeah. All right. Look at that. Not a bad shave, huh? Not bad at all. All right. Second lather. Second lather, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Yeah, I actually like that. I don't even have to add any more water to that at all. Works out pretty all right. Second pass, it's going to be cross grain, just like we always do, right? Ears to eyes. Right, and here we go. You know, like I said, I like how thin it is in a certain sense because it gets right in, you know, by that earlobe. Because otherwise, sometimes I get a little too close and I Da Vinci the shit out of my ear. Almost did that with the straight the other day. Jesus. A little bit different on finding the angle. But what do I always say about that? It's like driving a car, right? I know some people that have tried different razors lately. Some were at my suggestion, others were at somebody else's. And they were getting frustrated. They said, you know, they tried the razor and they said, I don't like it. I said, why? Is it too aggressive? Not aggressive enough? What's the deal? And they said to me, I don't like it because I can't find the angle. It's tough to find the angle. Listen, here's the deal for me, as far as I'm concerned. If you get a new razor or new to you, and you can't find the angle, first of all, don't stress about it, because this is wet shaving. It's supposed to be, shaving period, it's supposed to be relaxing. You know, and then it's a razor. Don't stress about it. You know, ultimately, if it doesn't work for you, get something else. But if you can't find the angle, and you really, you know, for whatever reason you want to like the razor, you want to try it, and maybe it was your dad's, or maybe you just like the razor, you like the way it looks, or something about it, you just want to have it, and you want it to shave well. Okay? Give it at least a week. You know, some of these guys I'm talking to, you know, they're kind of new to wet shaving, and they're shaving with a razor, and they're telling me, I don't like it. I said, oh, what types of blades did you use it? Oh, just one, my go-to. So, oh, okay. Well, your go-to is a good blade, but you only gave it one shave, man. I mean, if you get a razor, say like this one, and you try it and you think, wow, this thing's awesome, works great, then go with the combination of the blade, your angle, and so on and so forth. But if it's not working for you, don't write the razor off yet. Try it with a couple of different blades. Try it with, you know, take your time with it. Try different angles. Because I'll tell you, the general rule of thumb, right, is 30 degrees. The Mercura Futura, whatever you want to say it, and its clone, the angle is more like this. It really is. It's not, you do this, it's not going to cut at all. So every razor is different. You know, you're not going to get into a new car, drive it once, and think, this car sucks. I mean, maybe you will, but try it. Or you're going to, you know, maybe you work the clutch and the car stalls. Oh, no, can't do it. Get rid of it. I can't drive it. No, you're going to try it. You're going to try it again. Try to get the feel for it, right? Razors are exactly the same way. I think part of the fun of this hobby is trying the new razors, different razors. You know, there's something about using something that's the better part of 100 years or more old. I mean, that razor, those razors out there, especially the straights, they get some mileage on them, you know. These things have seen a lot of history. And to have something like that in your hand that still works just as good as it probably did when it was brand new. There's something to be said for that, I think. Now, obviously I have more D's than I do straights, but I certainly respect the straights that are just as, that 100 years old or better. Cross grain, eyes to ear direction. We're going to do this, we'll do up this last pass here, and then we'll finish up the rest of the shave off camera. So yeah, so to the few guys that I know that, done that, I'm not going to name names, I'm not looking to get anybody ticked off, but just, keep the razor that you get. Try it. Try it for a week. Try it for 2. If you're not getting a good shave out of it, try a really aggressive blade out of it, and then try something that's not so aggressive. Because I think that there's a potential for every razor to work. There's a potential. Now, I know I'm kind of being bold with this statement, but there is a potential for every razor to work for everybody. It's just about finding the angle. It's about finding that blade that works for your skin and for you. You can take a really aggressive razor, like the Mule, right? Throw a derby blade in there, and you have a nice shaver for when you haven't shaved for like 4 days, or a long time for you, whatever that is. If it were me, I didn't shave in 4 days, I'll look like a chia pet. Now, some of you will know exactly what I'm talking about. Other the younger viewers will have to go, what the hell is that? Look it up. I don't even know if they still sell those things anymore. That's what I look like after 4 days. And my head's even worse. But, it's nice to have a really aggressive razor. Maybe not for an everyday usage, but something to hack the hair off in the event that you end up with a lot of hair. Because you never know what life throws at you. Think to yourself, well, I shave every day, so I don't have that problem. Yeah, you shave every day until you can't. Find yourself in the hospital for a number of days for whatever reason. Maybe it's not you, maybe it's someone else. And then you go to shave, and you think, damn, it'd be nice to have something like a Mule or like this little baby right here. You throw in if you're highly sensitive, you have sensitive skin, throw in a derby. Something like that. It'll help you, I think. But at least it's something to try. Again, that may not work for everybody. I understand that, but it's my point being is that when you try a new razor, give it a fair shot. Don't just try it once and think this does or doesn't work for me. Give it a couple of goes. At least try for 2 weeks. Try different blades in it, different angles, different methods. So give it a fair shot. So all right. This shave is going awesome. I mean, it's pretty smooth right now, but I like a BBS. So I'm going to go for it. I'm going to do against the grain, a cleanup pass, clean up the shave bit. We'll be back with the post shave. Thank you very much for joining me. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. The shave has been completed. Again, thank you for staying with us on our review of the Cooper 1930s open comb. This little bugger is extremely aggressive in my opinion, and paired with a feather, even worse. I'm not going to say worse, just even more, all that much more aggressive. So it is a 3-piece razor. My review on this is it works really well. I love this razor actually. I like it. The only complaints I have on it is a little bit more heft in my razors. Not necessarily heavier, just more to them. This one is extremely thin. There's not much to the threads at all. I mean, it doesn't take much to. You can't even. There's like maybe a quarter of a. It's not even a full turn, and that goes on there. I feel like if I cinch that too much or too hard, it's going to break, and that'll be all she wrote on that because I'm not putting in the money to restore that. So, but yeah, if you can get your hands on one of those, I'd pick one up. It's nice to have in your arsenal in case you go a couple of days without shaving. You need something to really take the hair off in a couple of passes, and that will definitely do it. As you can see, I got a really good shave. There's no irritation, no razor bumps, none whatsoever. I just treated it with some Thayer's Witch Hazel Rose Petal. We're going to go ahead and throw on some Nivea Aftershave Sensitive. Because I'm not really going to go for the aftershave today. It's raining out still. I thought it would calm down later on, but it really hasn't. So we're just going to throw this on. Pairs nicely with the reef point that I used. Aviator in honor of Amelia Earhart Day. Some of that on the dome there. Yeah. All right. Yeah, so folks, if you guys have tried this razor and you really like it, give me a shout and throw it in the comments below. I'd like to hear from you and see what you guys think of it. So if not, you have any further questions about it, please give me a shout. We'll see what we can do as far as answering your questions. A little bit difficult in finding some information, but again, I hit a couple of what I'll call colleagues and found some information on that. So thank you guys very much. And if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Get that ticker going. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. But just make sure you hit that bell. Mash it down because you'll get a notification whenever we do a new video. So, again, I am Chad with CD Shave, and thank you, folks, for joining me. And we'll see you guys in the next video.